Have you ever met a person who, without saying much, made you feel calm, energized, or deeply seen? That's not coincidence. That's magnetism. Yogananda spoke of a magnetic force within us, a subtle but powerful energy that governs what and who we attract in life. This isn't just poetic language. It's a spiritual truth rooted in the nature of consciousness itself. Like attracts like. The energy you emit silently calls to people, situations, and opportunities that resonate with it, and that energy is shaped moment by how you live your life. Let's hear his wisdom. There is within us a magnetic force by which we attract those who have a living relationship to our magnetic power. An ordinary magnet has a certain range and power. Small magnets draw small things. Larger magnets draw larger objects. The human magnet draws according to its power of attraction. Some people attract physical things, some attract mental things, and some attract spiritual things. It depends on what kind of a magnet one wishes to be. We must develop two kinds of magnetism, one to attract God and another to attract our material necessities. If we use all of our magnetism to gain material things, sooner or later we shall be disillusioned. It is true that God gave us bodies and we must look after them, but if we first develop spiritual magnetism, it will guide us in the proper ways to supply all of our material needs. To acquire mental magnetism, we must do everything with deep concentration. People who have reached the top in any profession or business have great powers of concentration and great magnetic power. If we are a slave to any of the senses, we are losing magnetism. If we have control over the senses, we are developing magnetism. Being able to develop and maintain an even mind without getting emotional is the way to magnetic living. When emotionalism is converted into power and governed by wisdom, one has great magnetism. We must be careful with whom we associate, because we are continually exchanging magnetism with other people by our thoughts, by shaking hands, and by looking into their eyes. As soon as we shake hands with someone, a magnet is formed. The person who is the stronger gives his vibration to the other person. We become like the people with whom we mingle, not through their conversation, but through the silent magnetic vibration which goes out of their bodies. When we come within the range of their magnetism, we become like them. If a man wants to become an artist, he must associate with artists. If he wants to be a good businessman, he must associate with successful businessmen and leaders. If he wants to become a spiritual giant, he must associate with devotees of God. As Yogananda said, every human being is a magnet, but not all magnets are equal. Small magnets draw small things. Larger magnets draw greater objects. In other words, the strength of what you attract is directly related to the strength of your inner energy, your magnetism. Now think about this. What kind of magnet are you right now? Are you someone who draws only fleeting pleasures, surface-level interactions, and temporary rewards? Or are you cultivating the kind of presence that pulls in depth, purpose, love, and divinely aligned opportunities? Your current reality offers the answer. Some people attract money, others attract wisdom. Some pull chaos and confusion into their lives again and again, and some attract peace, joy, and clarity. This is not about luck, it's about frequency. What are you tuned into? Just as a radio picks up different stations depending on the frequency it's set to, your life reflects the energy you're attuned to. When Yogananda says we must develop two kinds of magnetism, one to attract God and another to attract material necessities, he's not promoting division but balance. He acknowledges that we are both spirit and body, that while we walk this earth, we must learn to nourish both, but the order matters. He reminds us, if we use all our magnetism chasing material gain, we'll eventually feel empty, because nothing of this world can fill the space of the soul. However, if we begin with spiritual magnetism, if we align first with the divine, then the material blessings we need will come, not as a result of struggle, but as a side effect of spiritual harmony. Concentration is the secret to mental magnetism. Let's say you want to succeed in your career. You want to write, build, lead, or heal. Yogananda points to a clear requirement: concentration. People who rise to the top in any field, whether it's business, art, or science, have one thing in common: deep, unwavering concentration. Their minds are like focused beams of light, able to cut through distraction and channel all energy toward a single goal. This focused energy is magnetism. It is the same power that draws the right people, clients, solutions, and breakthroughs into your orbit. But here's the trap. The modern world teaches us to chase results without mastering energy, to stay busy without becoming magnetic. And as Yogananda reminds us, when we become slaves to our senses, overstimulated, scattered, emotionally reactive, we drain our power. We leak magnetism. So what's the solution? Self-mastery. Learning to govern your emotions, to choose stillness over reactivity, to pause before responding. These are not just signs of maturity, they are signs of magnetic power. Yogananda shares a profound truth. Being able to develop and maintain an even mind without getting emotional is the way to magnetic living. This doesn't mean repressing emotions, it means transforming them. When we convert emotional chaos into calm awareness, when we channel feelings through wisdom rather than impulse, we become powerful. This is the secret of great leaders, great healers, great saints. They feel deeply, yes, but their emotions do not rule them. Instead, they transmute emotion into compassion, clarity, and focused energy. That's the alchemy of magnetism. Yogananda then gives us a spiritual warning. Be careful who you associate with. In the material world, we think of relationships in terms of words, actions, memories. But spiritually, there is another layer: silent energy exchange. When you spend time with someone, you don't just share stories. You exchange vibration. Whether you notice it or not, your magnetism is either being amplified or diluted by the people around you. A handshake, a shared glance, even a quiet conversation, all these moments create an energetic bridge. And the stronger magnet always influences the weaker. Ask yourself, who am I spending the most time with? Are they aligned with the life I want to live? Or are they silently pulling me away from it? We become like the people with whom we mingle, not because of their words, but because of the silent magnetic current flowing from them to us. This truth is not meant to isolate us. It's meant to empower us. If you want to be creative, spend time with creative souls. If you want to be successful, surround yourself with people who hold that vibration of success. And if you want to walk a spiritual path, seek the company of those who are already walking it. Spiritual magnetism is contagious, and so is confusion. Choose your circle wisely. Finally, Yogananda brings us to the deepest truth, the magnetism that attracts the divine. While worldly magnetism can bring career, relationships, recognition, spiritual magnetism draws peace, guidance, grace, and inner fulfillment. This kind of magnetism is built in silence, in prayer, in stillness, in surrender. You build it by turning inward when the world calls you outward, by choosing love when the ego tempts you to react, by showing up in devotion, not just in temples or churches, but in your kitchen, your workplace, your daily life. When you practice meditation, when you offer your actions to the divine, you are quietly charging your soul with a magnetism that reaches into the invisible. And the more you walk with God in your heart, the more life begins to align. The right opportunities flow. The right people come. The confusion fades. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you become magnetic to truth. So what kind of magnet will you choose to be? A magnet for distraction, drama, and exhaustion, or a magnet for depth, purpose, and divine alignment? You don't need to force or chase anything. You only need to become inwardly radiant, and the life you are meant for will begin to gather around you. As Yogananda taught, we are not victims of fate. We are co-creators of our destiny through the energy we embody. Start by concentrating your mind, mastering your senses, uplifting your emotions, and choosing your company wisely. Most importantly, start each day by tuning your heart to the divine. This is how you become magnetic, not only to the things you want, but to the truth of who you are. And when your inner magnet is aligned with God, everything else falls perfectly into place. If these words touched something deep within you, take a moment to share it in the comments. What kind of magnet are you becoming? What energy are you choosing to cultivate in your life? Your reflection might inspire someone else on their journey. Let's grow together. One insight, one connection, one moment of truth at a time.